guys! So I'm actually really excited for today's video, and that is because I have officially created my first product release for my Etsy shop. And this line actually consists of products that you can use to incorporate into your own mixed media and use them more as supplies instead of something to decorate your house or stickers for your laptop or whatever. And I'm really excited to share all of this line with you because I've personally really enjoyed working with the things I created, and I hope all of you guys will as well. So in today's video, we're just going to go over everything that is part of the release. I will be kind of showing close-ups of the different products and what is included with the items. And in some videos that will be making an appearance in the very near future, I will be showing examples and actually using those items on camera to give you some ideas on how to incorporate the pieces in your own work. The official release date for this product line is September 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will leave the details as well as the link to my Etsy shop in the description of this video so you can check it out. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing all of these little products that I'm going to have available very soon, and without further ado, let's get into it. I have been working very hard, pretty much non-stop, on a Halloween release for my Etsy shop. I found it very enjoyable to work with a target in mind, to have a theme that I was trying to portray. So I thought I would just start this video off with showing you pretty much everything that is in the Halloween collection, and then I will be going through each of the items individually so you can see the details and what you will actually be receiving should you purchase it. I would also like to note that I have plans to release more videos in the very near future, really doing a deep dive into each of these products and ways that you can incorporate them into your art journaling, your planning, etc. etc. So now that you've been sufficiently teased with the collection, let's take a little bit of a closer look. I am going to start this announcement off with the physical items, and then I will go into the downloadable items. The majority of the collection does consist of downloads, but I thought it would be fun to incorporate just a few physical products as well. So these are the journal cards, and there are 4 different purchase options available for these journal cards. They are available in 3 separate sets of 4 or a set of 12. So this is the first set, and all of the journal cards are actually my Inktober illustrations from last year that I simply scanned in and resized to fit a 3x4 journal card. They are printed on 110-pound cardstock, and they're very thick. You can hear that, and they are all acid-free. And I just thought that my Inktober illustrations from last year went really well with the idea of Halloween and October, and so I wanted to repurpose them in a sense. So that is set number 1. Set number 2 has this girl with the moon, which is one of my favorite illustrations I've done. A magician with some cards. This is also one that I really like, and as you can see, she has pricked her finger on the rose. And this girl with some crows. And all of these journal cards have nothing on the back. They are single-sided printed cardstock. And for the third journal card set, we have this guy. And this girl with some flowers in place of her hair. This very theatrical man. As you can see, he has a crown floating above his head, and this girl with a candle. And I tried to select the cards that went into each set to have a little bit of variety, and I also knew that I wanted to do some smaller set options in case you didn't want to purchase all 12. And as I mentioned earlier, in the very near future, I will be making some videos kind of showing some examples of what I've done using these journal cards and the rest of the products. So this is the only other physical product available in the Halloween collection, and it is actually a sticker set. So it comes in a package the way that I package all of my stickers, which is in a plastic bag with my business card and a backing. And I will take these out. And it has a design on the packaging as well. But this sticker set consists of little glass corked bottles or collection sample jars that have items in them. So we have a beetle, a couple of mushrooms, a spider and its web, a little snail, some rose petals, a branch, and a crow feather. So there are 7 stickers in total, and they are approximately, I believe, about 1.5 by 3 inches. And you can see in my hand, they're a pretty good size sticker. And I'm very happy with this sticker set. I like that it's not too Halloween-y. It's kind of just natural, but it still works very well for the holiday. However, if these are not quite what you're looking for, I also have another sticker option available, and it is the same exact designs, but smaller. These are probably one of my favorite things in the collection. They are very small. If you take them and compare them, you can fit about 3 along the length, and I just think they're really cute. And I work in small journals a lot. I tend to prefer working tiny over very large. So having some stickers that fit that format is very nice. And these also come in the same packaging as the previous stickers. So here's where we move on to the very first section of digital downloads. And these are the Digi stamps. There are several different purchase options. You can buy each stamp individually, or you can buy them as a set. And I will pull it up closer so you can see a little bit better. There is a poison bottle that is broken and has some space for where you could put some different colored liquids, or you could cut it off completely, up to you. There is a rose, and this is actually the same rose that I used in my image transfer tutorial. So you could very easily use this rose to do the same image transfer that I did in that tutorial. It will be flipped the other way though, if you decide to do that. And the final Digi stamp is this girl that has this kind of split on her face where there are some flowers in front of this part of her face, and she has some kind of vine-like tattoo looking areas. And as I said, you can do image transfers with these. You can color them and add them to your pages. Additionally, because you do receive the individual files, you can print them in different ways and in different sizes. You could take them into Photoshop, stretch them, make them very large, make them very small. And this makes them work for a variety of different types of projects, not just one-sized book in particular. Now, kind of in a similar vein to the Digi stamps are another one of my favorite bits of the Halloween collection, and that is the silhouette line. Again, you can purchase these sheets individually or as a set, and these are great for image transfers. And I will also be showing you that you can actually print this onto tissue paper. If you tape your tissue paper to a piece of cardstock and run it through your printer like that, and then when you kind of use your Mod Podge to glue them onto your pages, the tissue paper kind of melts into the background, leaving only the image. So this is the first design, and it consists of 5 different spooky looking trees. And I've printed that in 2 different sizes, but the size that the file comes as is 8.5 by 11. And I had printed that as half of that so that I had different sizes to work with in my journals. The second silhouette design are these ink splotches. And the reason these look so natural as paint splotches is because in order to create them, I actually did splatter paint and then altered it in Photoshop to make it pure black. And the really cool thing about this is when you use these with tissue paper or as an image transfer, what you get is something that looks like ink splotches, but it is much more controlled and there's no mess involved. You know exactly where these ink splotches are going to go because you are directing them and putting them there. Whereas when you're actually splattering paint, there is a bit of uncertainty that comes with it. And the final silhouette sheet in the line are these spider webs. There are 4 separate spider web designs, and it also comes with 2 little spiders on their webs. It's the same spider, just in 2 different sizes, so you don't have to worry about reprinting it at a different size, at least with the spiders. And the nice thing about these spiders is if the web isn't quite long enough, you can just extend it. So I've had a lot of fun working with these silhouettes specifically. I think that once you really start working with them and experimenting with them, there's a lot of variety that you can achieve and a lot of different cool effects. The next part of the collection are quote-unquote papers, and essentially what this is lace that I dyed black and then scanned and altered to create digital papers. On camera and also in person, these look kind of purple, though in reality they're more gray or black. However, that is something to keep in mind about digital files, is that depending on your printer, it could alter the colors that are actually in the file. However, I do like it being purple, so it doesn't bother me too much. The files for the paper are actually 12 by 12 files. However, I can't print at 12 by 12 size, so I had 2 options, and I did both of them so you can really see. The first option is to simply print them at 8.5 by 11 size and fit it to screen. And I will show you these designs. And I really like this lace paper. I think it adds a lot of interest and it works really well with the Halloween theme, especially for those of us who like the kind of gothic type style. Here is the second lace design. And here is the third. Now your second option is to not fit to screen. In this case, I believe I printed at 5 by 7 size and then didn't fit it to screen. So this, I think, gave me 5 by 5 squares, and this allows you to get the full design. With these 2, the main difference is the scale of the design. It's obviously going to be smaller because I printed my image smaller. However, with this particular lace design, I left a raw exposed edge on the paper, and in some cases people might like that. I definitely did, which is why I tried to include it. But if you fit to screen, as you can see, you lose that pattern, because essentially what is happening is your printer is cropping it and it's cutting this off. You also don't have to print at a 5 by 7 size. You can simply print at 8.5 by 11 and don't fit it to screen, and it will give you the same effect with the raw exposed edges, just filling up less of the page. And now we move into the last little section, which are collage sheets. I have actually decided to release 3 separate collage sheets. The first is a words one. And this honestly is another thing that I'm a very big fan of from this collection. The majority of this sheet consists of white text on a black background square, and almost all of these were handwritten. There are a few exceptions, specifically with this 31 and the Queen of the Forest, but I believe the rest of them were handwritten and hand-drawn in the case of these little shapes. And I really like this sheet. It was pretty difficult to come up with this many Halloween related phrases, but in the end I really enjoyed incorporating them into my art journal pages, and I think it gives me jumping off points as well. Your downloadable file comes as 1 sheet, and there are 50 different words/phrases. However, something to keep in mind is that even though there are 50 phrases, that doesn't mean there are only 50 options. And what I mean by that is that the majority of these phrases, for example, things that go bump in the night, or something wicked this way comes, blood donors needed, etc., have several different lines of text. And as such, you could very easily mix and match all of these phrases. And this just makes coming up with phrases and titles for your Halloween creepy themed pages pretty painless. Now, this is the next collage sheet that I have available. There are 13 different images on this sheet, including words, a little cat that is pretty reminiscent of the little ghost on this page here. It has a couple of pages from my art journals that were scanned in and then cut out, some images that were created specifically for this sheet, and then a couple of other images that I just sort of had lying around that I felt were very Halloween themed. And again, you can print these in whatever size makes you comfortable. Here I have printed it 2 to a page so that the images are much smaller and I have more of them to play around with. And these have actually been printed on sticker paper, which, fun fact, is one of the most helpful things I've ever learned about working with collage sheets. So if you happen to have sticker paper lying around your house, I would recommend printing your collage sheets on sticker paper so that they're a lot easier to use. And I'm just going to pull this up close here so that you can see. This girl has some spider earrings, something bubbling, sudden tears, and shadowy figures, and these were actually clipped directly from books. I did not write these, I just clipped them out and scanned them in. So there's that collage sheet. And the final collage sheet, and also the final item in the collection, is this Nevermore collage sheet. And it consists of 2 ravens that are full body, and they're actually the mirror image of one another. This little head portrait of a raven and a raven feather. Here it is printed even smaller, so that the birds are a little bit more of a workable size and the text isn't too large. But again, I am the type of person that tends to work in very, very small journals, so sometimes an image this large might not even fit on one of my pages. So definitely just keep in mind that resizing is definitely an option and opens entirely new doors. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little walkthrough / release announcement for my Halloween 2018 collection. And these items are actually going to be going live in my Etsy shop on September 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I will leave a link in the description of this video to my Etsy shop so you can kind of bookmark it and save it if that's something that you're interested in doing. But at any rate, I had a lot of fun putting together this collection. I found it to be an interesting challenge and something I had never tried before. So thank you all so much for watching this video. You can subscribe if you want to kind of keep up to date with how I use these products in the very near future to gain some ideas and inspiration for your own art journals and mixed media work. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.